Hi folks, this is my video on the UiPath AI-driven no-code test automation hackathon that happened last weekend on 26th and 27th of April. So now this was an interesting hackathon of its own kind. I think it was one of the most valued hackathon in terms of the prize money and in terms of the challenges that UiPath introduced to the participants. The hashtag was hashtag UiPath Hackathon with TTD, and if you search for it, you will find a lot of content. Now, a lot of time people think that should they participate in hackathons? What is there for people or for normal testers in hackathon? Should they attend it? Should they invest their 2 days of time? Because I invested 2 days of my time in this hackathon and I really found it worthwhile to invest. So what I did, what were my experiences? So I am Rahul Parwal and I will be documenting and sharing my entire journey through this video. So this video is from my perspective. I worked with my team Revolu iPathers. So my team name also had UiPath, and this video is about my experience and it's about the key takeaways, what I took away from this hackathon. Now, hackathons are very interesting. I got to know about this hackathon through the test tribe. I've subscribed to the test tribe mailbox. If you have not subscribed to them, you can subscribe because they keep on doing these events, meetups, and so on. And from there, I got to know about this UiPath hackathon, and it was a virtual global hackathon, which means anybody can participate. And I get a chance to learn from testers across the world for free or for a very minimal amount like 100 rupee, which is close about $1 or €1. So this was an interesting opportunity. I realized it and I immediately contacted some of my friends, and then we made a group. So this was our group, TTT Hackathon. We added our team name, and then me, my friends and colleagues, Deepika, Shubham, and then one of my community friend Yogendra, we all collaborated, made this group, and we started to fill the form that we want to fill and apply for this hackathon. Now, once we did that, we also got access to this hackathon chat, which is on Discord. And Discord is a amazing platform for people who are into communities. And if you are in communities, I think you already know Discord, but Discord is an amazing place where you can find amazing communities and different kind of forums and channels for different kind of discussions. So we got added into this test drive community. I was already a part of it, and then there was a sub channel for UiPath Hackathon, and we entered into the chat. So that was our main area for all the communications. Because it was a virtual hackathon, we had to keep this channel on or tuned to this channel so that we keep on getting the latest updates. Now on the mail, we got the event schedule that on the start day of this hackathon 26th, we will be starting with a virtual address, some networking, some icebreakers, and then the most important part, which is introduction of the UiPath platform. Because I had never experienced this UiPath platform. I'd heard about it in my previous company. There were teams who used to work on it, but I, as a tester or a developer, had never worked on UiPath. And then we were also waiting for the event format, rules, and everything that we need to know so that we can participate in the hackathon. So usually the format for hackathons are in a way that you have to follow up on this online webinar to know what you have to do and what you have to participate in the next 36 hours and then begin the battle. I had submitted the forms, and the test tribe shared me these amazing badges which we could share on social media, and I really liked this nice shield badge from test tribe, that I'm participating in this. And then every participant who was participating in my network, I could see that who all members were participating in this, and then we could do some informal discussions and talk about the process, and that really builds up some excitement. I mean, we really like talking in that way and starting the engagement. And then I also went to the UiPath website and saw that UiPath is built coming up with some agentic automation, which was 12 days to go when I searched it. And I think now in a couple of days it is out there. And probably by the time you will be watching this video, it's already out there. And that is going to be something amazing. So on the event day, I went there, and this is what I found, that the stream will begin shortly, and nobody was there on the. And then what I did was that I joined there on this networking lounge and everything, and then I and my friend and my teammates also joined it. And then we started discussing and talking about people and talking about things on testing, on automation, on what are hackathons. We met some new testers, we connected on LinkedIn, and it was like a really nice experience. If somebody likes networking, I think hackathons is a very nice place to do some good virtual networking with testers across the world. Now, this is a very rare and good opportunity that you get in communities. Now, then the session started, and the UiPath team introduced themselves, introduced their platform, introduced different kind of scenarios that you can do through the UiPath platform, and those were all amazing. I mean, on mobile testing, you could do a different kind of scenarios, and UiPath is not just a tool. I want to emphasize one thing that I realized was that this is not just a normal automation tool; it's more of a platform which gives end-to-end support from start to end. From if you're thinking about requirements, test cases, scripts, manual, automation, reports, insights, you will find almost everything in UiPath, and that was pretty amazing. And then they give us the demo of Studio. Studio in itself is a whole big universe, because I have been a C# developer. I've like used this Visual Studio, and I realized that this studio is built like, and it has features and capabilities and extensions and possibilities all at par with that, and that's like really powerful. And they told us about that, and then they also told us about this main platform for engagement, the UiPath Academy, community, UiPath forum, and the insider monthly demo day. Now, as a tester who has been active in communities, I think one thing that really gets me interested is that if a company, if a platform, or if a tool is interested in building a community around it, if it's interested in encouraging forums, discussions, healthy discussions, and making tutorials, power up testers, I think I really like such platforms. I think there are a lot of very like big players in the testing tool landscape, but not everybody is doing that. And I think more tool companies should be actually thinking about building communities and pathways for testers, because in the end it's the testers who are going to implement all those tools wisely to bring good results. I mean, tools cannot bring good results on themselves. So I really loved this about UiPath. UiPath has an amazing community, amazing academy, amazing forum, and I also checked them out, and they were pretty active, which was a very good sign. Now, after that, the most interesting part, what are the awards? And the awards were really amazing. I mean, the total pool prize, if you look at that, it's a huge amount for a virtual hackathon in testing. Considering it was a virtual hackathon, it was good for web, for mobile. There were also bonus challenges and so on, and that was really good. And that was the point when we started. So they told us about the challenge, they told us about the platform, and then we had to start. The moment we started with creation of the cloud organization, creating an organization for our team where we can add all the 4 members, creating this dashboard, going through different features what this dashboard offers. And like any new thing, I mean, what happened with us was that when we were trying to do things, we were probably not the experienced users. We were getting stuck, we were getting blocked by things because we had not configured things properly. We were not pro in UiPath, we were just trying it out, and we got some issues. We for like realized that we have not configured the license. We should have requested for the pro trial license. We had not done that, and then not everybody was given access, and then like we were like really stuck at the start. And this is very analogous to how life works, or how any professional engagement works. Like, no matter how much we want it to be like a straight path, that we set a goal and then we achieve it by moving forward, in reality you have to set a goal, you have to start. There are moments when you doubt yourself, you learn from those doubts, from moving ahead, from your failures, from your practices, from the different parts where you feel lost, that should I give up, or like, is this hackathon even right? Am I like putting my weekend on on this hackathon? Like, will it be worthwhile? And then you start getting things, and then like there is some struggle, but then you finally achieve it. So I mean, this is how life is. Hackathon teach you and prepare you to be ready for the unexpected, and this is something I really like about hackathons, and that motivates me to go and take a part in hackathons. And this was very similar to what our journey happened. I mean, the initial part was filled with uncertainty, filled with research. We were all like learning about the platform, checking its forum tutorial. We were like checking on the Google that what all things we can do. We were checking on its autopilot and so on. And then we got some insights, and like every member was bringing some insights, and it was all puzzled up. And then from all that puzzle, we could build some concept. We could start putting some clarity, focus to build our prototype, and then eventually design and like that. And this is like the classic bootstrap approach. where you begin with confusion but you end in precision. So this is what happened to us. But the good part and the great part was that we found this UiPath autopilot for Studio, and this is a magic. I mean, so for example, I mean, with this autopilot integrated in Studio, it was just like how if you are aware about GitHub Copilot or Copilot, how you get an AI assistant which can actually help you do your job. And if you have the right ideas, if you have the right mind set, if you know what you want to get done, I mean, a Studio or autopilot can really help you with finding things quickly, and can really help you by giving you information, but by also giving you building blocks that can help you and help you move forward. I think this is something that which was one of my key takeaway from this hackathon, because I realized that UiPath Autopilot is how a good example of how AI has to be integrated in testing and in test tools, and it was a really nice thing. Now, once we found that and we found some momentum with that, that was a good point when we started enjoying our work and we started to build our actual projects. And UiPath Studio gives amazing capabilities and options of creating a project. We started with creating a project, creating our own stress tests and different kind of enumerations we did. For example, this one test where we want to repeat 100 kind of API requests back and back and back and again, and like with UiPath we could just prompt it and create this, and that was really interesting, really exciting. We could add in dependencies, then there were a lot of possibilities of dependencies that we could add in, and that was amazing again. And then there were like different kind of tests that we started building on for schema validation, for stress testing, for security testing. And now these are interesting use cases that every tester wants, but sometimes, I mean, you have to use different tools for like all of these things. But like with UiPath, I was able to do all of that, and which was really nice. And then there is a test manager part also where you could add in requirements, and then you could even evaluate the requirements. I think one of the most fundamental problem and that I see testers complaining about is that the requirements are not clear. But how do you know it and how do you prove it? UiPath Test Manager can actually help you with that, and that was something that I really liked off time. But like in this tool, I found that yeah, this is an interesting case how you can use AI to actually help with practical things like improving the requirements and then creating tests based on these improved requirements. These are like amazing things. And then test sets, which is pretty much close to test suits in my understanding, and then execution of that through CI, through scheduled. And then you can also configure your project settings, bring in customizations, which was pretty cool. And then we also tried importing our test cases, because in my practical project we have like a couple of times we have switched platforms for our test case management, and we don't start creating tests from scratch. We always have tests, we always have legacy code, and we wanted to check if we could like really import our existing test cases. So we created some test cases on Excel, and then like we could easily import it through its AI, and that was pretty cool. And then we had all these imported UI test cases with all the details, and that was like very smooth and easy migration. Now, something that I learned about this UiPath automation solution and this AI powered automation that they give is that they have like integrated with a lot of amazing capabilities. So one of that is context. I mean, you could like feed in context from different kind of things like documents, communication, data, people, and so on. But there are also different kind of a UiPath automation solutions for task mining, for creation of your automation, for your AI center, for document understanding. And then these are internally in the backend connected with different kind of Gen AI tools, which is pretty powerful, because then you don't have to worry about buying licenses and so on. You take one tool and it automatically gives you integration to 4 different AI tools and LLMs, and build your own council of LLMs, which is really powerful. And then you get specialized AI based on your use cases for document work, screen related UI work, task work, process work, and then you can do different kind of action or UI, API, or even with something that involves human in the loop. And that's like something which I really liked, which is also a responsible way of doing things, because you get the human in the loop, you can customize things like that, and then you also have a flexibility. So that these were amazing capabilities. And for testers, I really liked this UiPath Test Manager, which is really pretty powerful. And I realized that the UiPath team is also migrating a lot of features into this test manager, and which makes it a interesting thing to look out for and watch out for. The next thing what we did, what was our strategy? So we actually blurred out different things that I tried out in this hackathon, because these are like interesting thing that I did with my team, and different kind of test for UI, API, accessibility, all those things, and cross-browser testing, and so many things, possibilities, combining UI, API, and all those we could do. And why we could do it was because of like all of these amazing capabilities like autopilot test manager, studio, orchestrator, UI agent inside. It's a complete full-fledged platform with cross-platform apps. Available on desktop, available on web, and also available as browser extension, which is pretty cool. And then it was a 36-hour hackathon, and to be honest, I mean, we participated like almost 24 or to 30 hours in a stretch. One member or the other was always working, and that was amazing. And kudos to my team who was able to pull this off. Next part that I want to talk about is fun. So we also made this background, custom background for our use case, and for our background on Zoom and Google Meet, where we were all collaborating all the time. We made this, we took some photos, posted on social media, posted on the hackathon group, and that was some good laugh and banter. And in the end, we had to submit our PPT where we had to introduce our team, give overview of a strategy and highlights and learnings. And then we started making our presentation. This was our team, and we had accepted the web challenge, and that was pretty cool. And finally we compiled all the things that we did on this 30 hours, and then we could zip it and submit it through their form, and that was a moment of real relief. But the moment I submitted that, I realized that I have done something awesome. I mean, for like years I had thought about UiPath, but I never tried it out. And like in 2 days I could really make a real project with test cases, with automation, with scripts, with running, with learning about this tool. And that was so much amazing stuff. And then also the collaboration with all the other folks. I mean, that was a bleeding edge collaboration of 30 hours, and that was something that I really liked, and I salute to all the folks. But I also want to give a salute and a shout out to the amazing UiPath team who was there for support over voice almost for 30 hours, except like from night 12 to morning 7 8, they were always there to support with any queries, any questions, anywhere you get stuck about the platform, you can ask them. And that was amazing. A lot of times I realize that I've been asking questions which probably if somebody keeps on asking me, maybe I get irritated, but they were very patient. I don't know. I mean, huge shout out. I saw one of this LinkedIn post where they've mentioned and tagged all of these awesome folks: Sudhir, Priya, Tisha, Vishnu, Siddharth, Raj, Deepak, Mohammed, Sharat, and they were all there. And I think I almost everybody I've interacted with, and like I really loved their help. I mean, and I would have not been able to move forward. So my huge respect to you folks for like spending your weekend with us so that we could do things, we could achieve things, and that was amazing. And with that, we actually went to the wrap up, which is the final closing ceremony. Amazing stats: 36-hour hackathon, 403 participants, global participants from 20 countries, which is a big thing, and 275 organizations, which is again a big thing. So you get to meet up people from a lot of places. And 60 teams, 173 people were solo. So these are amazing, amazing things. To wrap up, and before I close, I want to quickly share what were my key learnings for me from this hackathon. Every hackathon teaches you, every hackathon pushes you to a limit or to your limit, and this hackathon also did that for me. What it did, I realized that like if I have to achieve a mission, I have to actually break it down into tangible goals, into smaller projects or micro tasks. And breaking down complexity and like putting it into smaller things is a very useful activity. We often don't talk about it, but AI can also help you with that. AI can help you break down your things into smaller tasks. But this skill, if you can do that, I mean, you can really achieve amazing things, because sometimes people are just stuck with the big picture, but they don't know how to break it down into smaller topics. And this is a key learning that I did, and I learned in these 2 days. The second important thing is that sometimes we keep on waiting for years to do something, but in reality, if you do action, I mean, sometimes it just take days. So for example, in my situation, as I said, I mean, for 3 to 4 years, I was thinking that I have to try UiPath, or I want to try UiPath. But in just 3 days or 2 days, I mean, if I include one day before the hackathon where I was just looking into the UiPath, so in just these 2 to 3 days, I could do something. I could ask for help and then actually learn about this platform better than anything else. I mean, because I did practical hands-on project building on UiPath, and that is amazing. And the final important learning for me is that success cannot happen without collaboration. You have to collaborate with the right folks, you have to collaborate with the right intent, and collaboration is really powerful. I mean, sometimes when you collaborate, you will feel that everybody is bringing different ideas or going in different tangent, but this is fine. This is part of the collaboration. Collaboration really helps. Community teaches us the value of collaboration. I love communities for that. And UiPath also emphasized on the value of collaboration, and that's why I want to thank UiPath and the Test Tribe for this amazing event that they brought in and helped me to collaborate with some of the wonderful testers that I know who are really awesome and who decided to participate with me. So thank you, UiPath, thank you, Test Drive, and thank you to my team, and thank you to everyone who has sticked around till the end to listen to my experience, to my feedback, and to my overview of UiPath. That's all. Drop your comments. How was your experience, and do you want to participate in hackathons? Let me know. If you want tips on participating in hackathons, I've also written blog posts, so let me know. And thanks a lot. So have a wonderful day and happy hacking.